episode 29. But before I even get started, let me go to Facebook. We should be live on Facebook. We should be live on Twitch. And we should be live on Facebook. But before I even get started, man, I need my sound technician to see if we good. Is we good? Let me see. I'm gonna go to Facebook. Let me go to Facebook to unlock it. Well, y'all, welcome to the show. Thank y'all for coming, man. I need my sound technician to see if we good. Give me some thumbs up. Let me see. Yes, we is live. Welcome to Old Heads and Young Bulls Podcast, Season 1, Episode 29. But before I even get started, man, y'all already know I have to give the shout outs to the sponsors. Number one, Radical GLC Malls. Yes, she got the juice. She got the gel. She got all flavors. Please feel free to DM her. She definitely do deliveries front door. Just DM her. Out of town, Bay Area, Modesto, Sacramento. Please feel free to DM her on the flowers today. Thank you again, man. Give it up to Radical GLC Moss. And on the flowers today, we got Smokey Savage. Yes, from 209 Valley Cure. We got Midnight Garden right there. You know, second time on the sponsors. Thank you for coming. And we got 2 gas, 2 pads right there. Yes. Thank y'all for sponsoring Old Heads Young Bulls Podcast Season 1, Episode 29. Yes. And I just want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in, liking and sharing. You know, so yeah. But y'all already know. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. You know, I can't start the show without the intro. Let's go. Yeah, who's poppin'? Yes, we is. It's poppin'. You know we poppin'. Oh, heads. Yeah, who's poppin'? Yes, we is. Oh, heads. Hey. You know we poppin'. Let's go. Who's be droppers? Oh, heads. Yeah, who's be poppin'? Oh, heads. Hey. Yeah, who's be dropping juice? Oh, heads. Yeah, who's be poppin'? Oh, heads. Yeah, who's be dropping juice? Oh, heads. Hey. Who's be poppin'? Oh, heads. Hey, let's go. Like and share. Who's be dropping juice? Oh, heads. Yeah, who's be poppin'? Oh, heads. Yeah, who's poppin'? Yes, we is. Oh, heads. Hey, you know we poppin'. Hey, one more time, let's go. Yes, we is. Oh, heads. Poppin'. You know we poppin'. Hey, thank y'all for coming to the show. Old Heads and Young Bulls Podcast, Season 1, Episode 29. But y'all already know what I'm about to say, man. I'm a firm believer, man. Can't nobody in the world introduce you like you. You know, I'm a firm that. So I'm going to sit back, relax. You go ahead and let the people know where you from, where you be, and your occupation. Let's go.
Hey everybody, my name is Tera the Poet. I am originally born in Richmond, California, but
Okay.
I'm raised in Oakland. So that's really important for me. It shows 2 parts of my life.
Yes. And it's the Bay Area.
And it's the Bay Area. And they're cousins. They're actually
Man,
siblings.
it's one of the same to me.
It's one of the same.
Yes. But I just want to say thank you for coming to the show.
Happy to be here.
I definitely appreciate it. Tera the Poet, man. I love poets. So I really want to say thank you for sharing your time, your art, and just coming out your way to come into, to let the world hear Tera the Poet.
Thank you for having us. No. I feel like a lot of the times poets were underrepresented.
For sure.
We're not given an equal platform.
No.
So I'm grateful at Old Heads and Young Bulls.
Well, yes, when we drop it,
for you and from God.
Yes.
To be here. So thank you.
No, thank you, man. Give it up to Tera the Poet, man. And we got the. That's for you. For sharing your time and coming. but I do got a few questions, and let me get going here. But like I say, you can let the people know a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah. So like I said, born in Richmond, raised in Oakland. My name is Tera. I'm a mathematician. I
Okay.
graduated from UC Berkeley with a mathematics degree.
Wow. Okay.
I started my own STEM program called STEAM Against Violence, Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, Mathematics Against Violence. And so
Okay.
I give back to youth that's been impacted by violence in their home and their community by changing STEAM from a barrier into a healing pedagogy for them.
We
So
definitely need that. Shout out to
thank
you.
you.
We definitely need.
Free
We
robotic workshops, free mathematical tutoring, just like STEM stuff.
and it's all for the youth.
It's all for the youth. I do throw things for parents, so I'll throw things. I just did something for Mother's Day where mothers got free massages, free makeovers, free hairstyles, and now the June 28th in Oakland, California, 6112 International Boulevard. We'll be doing something for fathers and Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay, shout out. It is mental.
It's Men's Mental Health
Yes,
Awareness
it is, and therapy is real. Like I was talking off camera. Therapy is an advantage for all humans for in 2025. Just don't go to therapy. You know, just when something wrong, you
Right.
should go to therapy just to stay in line and stay in line. With yourself.
Right.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. So
But
have free massages, goodie bags for fathers that RSVP. So satin do rags,
okay,
lotions, combs, stress balls. So we really taking care of the fathers like we took care of
we
the
definitely
mothers.
need that. We
So
definitely
we
need
hope
that.
that y'all can come out, come be a part of it.
Can
And
you
yeah,
let the people know what date is
it's
that?
gonna be on June 28th at 6112 International Boulevard. If you go to my page, underscore underscore by her, I do have her information.
And don't worry, I definitely will on the platform. Don't even worry. June what?
June 28th from
June
1 to
28th.
5 p.m.
Yes, just for all the fathers in Oakland. I just did that. That's crazy for my Father's Day. My sister and my daughter, gave me a gift. Got me a petty and a medi and a massage and stuff for Father's Day. So that was I loved it. You know what I mean? So yes, all the fathers out there, please go ahead and go out there and go get y'all a little massage and a little pamper. Ain't nothing wrong with if
Get
you
your
a,
flowers while you're alive.
for sure. If you're a king, kings get pampered.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, anything you say you graduated from Berkeley?
Yeah, I graduated from the University of California, Berkeley.
Yes, shout out. How was that experience?
Ooh, that experience was it was a great experience. I'm grateful to be there, but it definitely felt very lonely as a black woman in the math department, as an older black woman, and a black woman specifically from the Bay Area. You would think because this is our home, that's a lot of us, but it was actually a very small majority of us. So small majority of black people, small majority of black women, smaller percentage of black women from the Bay Area, and it just got smaller and smaller, and the smaller black women, smaller from black women from Richmond, Oakland. So
But
so
you did it and you
I
made
did
it.
it.
Yes, yeah. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Terry the poet.
And my program it helps to help youth to navigate the experience of going into a 4 year.
Okay.
As a youth that's been impacted by violence or anyone that is from the diaspora. That so yeah, tap in with us. STEM Against Violence. STEM Against Violence. .com. You can find us and more information. And I do give back to the youth. And I help mentor them.
And anything you got, like I say, once you're on this platform, my platform turned into your platform. So anything you need me to get out there to the people, please feel free to send it. If you don't even send it, if I see it, I'm gonna post it anyway.
I'm gonna send
Post it anyway. So yeah, let's talk about poetry. Poetry is your first love.
Yes, poetry is my first love. I will say math and poetry.
Okay, math. Okay.
So math and poetry is go hand in hand. My poetry is about freedom, freedom in the ocean, freedom in life. Activist for Black people, for Black fathers, for Black men.
Okay.
And so a lot of my poetry gets back to men while they're alive and giving their flowers while they're alive.
And that's go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No.
I was just gonna say 10 years ago, I unfortunately lost my brother to gun violence in Oakland, California. So I realized I never gave him flowers, only on his casket. And so it really made me realize that men struggle with so many things.
We do.
And aren't able to share your feelings, your emotions, and don't get the love and pampering that men deserve.
Man,
so
thank you.
Poetry does give back to men,
Hey,
especially Black men.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Tera the poet. How long you been doing poetry, if you don't mind?
I've been writing all my life, but 2 years ago I got over my stage fright. 2 years ago I got on the stage for the first time, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do it, and then after that, I just started going up. I'm grateful to be here. Sometimes you do garnish spiteful spirits.
Yes.
But I remember to pray and to focus on Allah, mashallah. God is good to me.
Yes.
And so as long as I focus on him, everything that's negative will not prevail in my book. So
For sure.
yeah.
Amen. Give it up to God, man. For sure, for sure. And with poetry, you say you just got off your stage fright. That's crazy to me because me just looking at your content, it don't look like you just got over it. Look like you've been doing it for many moons.
Thank you. I
For real.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Any side hobbies or any hobbies that you like to do?
Yeah. I'm a surfer.
Hey, you a
I'm a
surfer?
surfer.
Shout out, man, to
I'm a black surfer, so shout out to us.
melanin surfers, man. Shout out to the melanin surfer out
Shout
there,
out to
man.
melanin
For
surfers.
sure, for sure.
Shout
How
out to
long you
us.
been surfing?
I've been surfing since 2018. I started with Brown Girl Surf. They're now called Salted Roots. I am going to do a show. I was supposed to do it on July 19th, our first poetry and surf, where people come to the beach, they surf, and it's open mic. But unfortunately, I had lost the venue for the robot building workshop, and they're both colliding. And I have rescheduled poetry and surf, but it's not over. I'm just rescheduling it.
Nah, it's only a little setback for a major comeback.
Exactly.
That's
But
it, man.
I do put the kids first, and so if I have to choose between a robot building and a poetry and surf, I put the kids first.
Shout out, man.
So I am a volunteer surf instructor, so I will be giving out up to 5 free surf lessons.
Okay,
so I will provide the surfboards and the wetsuits for the first 5 that shall sign up. So.
And that was shocking. I ain't gonna lie, saying a melanin person out there surfing and then teaching at that. That's very gnarly. For
I'm
real,
also
for
a
real.
math teacher. I'm a special ed teacher, and I'm in starting graduate program for become a math professor.
Oh, so you following your mission, man. You
Hopefully,
on your purpose.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead,
to
girl.
believe in myself because it's so
Ain't nothing wrong with
easy
it.
to feel like you're not doing enough.
For sure.
And to not give yourself like
Credit.
praise and
Yes,
credit,
yes.
and you know you deserve it.
Mhm.
And people may look at my life on the outside looking in, and everyone's like, "She got so much going on."
Think it's rainbows and
Exactly, but you don't know that
Them nightmares and
I don't
struggles.
sleep at night.
The nightmares and
sometimes.
that's why I say people think my life is rainbows and bubbles, but it's really nightmares and struggles with the health conditions I'm going through. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go through it with a smile. Sometimes you got to go through it to get through it.
And
You
I'm
know what I
proud of
mean?
you,
No, it's all good. Thank you, man. Thank you for doing what you doing for the people, for the kids, for experiment something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That black people, that melanin don't even scared to go surf, not alone. Hey, that we don't even want to go swimming, not alone surfing.
I have a funny running joke. I remember I was dating this dude, and he was incarcerated for a little bit, and I was like, he was like, I don't want to get in the water. There's some monsters in there. I was like, you the monster. They scared of you.
so with poet, what's your writing process?
Oh, I don't write. I just freestyle off the
freestyle?
top of my head. So I'll go in the shower, I'll wash dishes, or I'll do something, turn on the beat. And I'm really, to be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm going to be. I'm just now getting on instrumentals. I'm a cappella poet.
Okay.
I'm a cappella artist. I'm a cappella rapper. I'm also.
Oh, you a rapper too?
Yes, I can spit some. I started as a rapper, so when I was younger.
What's your rapper name?
Come
on, man. Exclusive.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh, so you don't go with Tera.
I should. I should just go by Tera the poet. Like, that's my rapper name.
Yeah, for sure.
Tera the poet, the surfer, the rapper.
Hey, because that's all rapping is poetry.
It is, and I know a lot of rappers. Shout out to Katie the poet. A lot of rappers that are poets now because they started off as poets. Like
same thing.
One of my favorite rappers is Rocka Bernardo, and he's also started out as a poet, and so like he is someone I look up to, and he's from Sacramento, and he's super dope.
Give him a proper shout out again. What's his name?
Rocka Bernardo.
Shout out, man. Let's go, man. Yeah, man. So we ain't gonna hold the people, man. We gonna get right in. Don't mind if I medicate, cause I do
No, not at
medicate.
all.
You know
Go
what I
right
mean?
ahead.
Thank you. You don't mind, cause I do be,
You're
right here.
good. You're good. Thanks
We
for checking in.
listen and we don't
Don't
judge.
judge. We're not judging
Hey,
here.
this is a safe space for
This is a
sure.
safe space. And it's
Yes.
so, I just want y'all to know, like, if y'all do come on this podcast has been the most very good hospitality, very respectful, very professional, and just very comforting, you know. So like I know a lot of women feel safe in a space where it's just excluded with the man, but I want you to know I felt the most comfortable in this space.
Oh,
And
thank
just
you.
I cherish this space.
And
So yeah.
I'm sit back. I had a hard time accepting my flowers, and when people do get my flowers, but now I sit and I smell my flowers. Flowers that you just gave me definitely smell good.
Yes.
Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
and I
And
do
I just want you to
appreciate
know,
that.
usually I come with actual flowers for the shows and the
Okay.
performances. I was in a little bit of rush, but next
No,
time
it's
I
all
will
good.
bring you your physical flowers.
No, it's
You
all
know,
good,
so
man. You with these poems, hey, it's roses all day. And I just want, hey, man, Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast, season 1, episode 29 with Tera the Poet. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, we gonna go ahead, get into this, man. We're gonna get into this, man. Let's go. I'm gonna light up.
I never hear that you in this all alone, because every time I call you, you never pick up your phone.
Okay.
Making sure I know everything about you. When you drop, I listen to every song. Hood niggas set free, but his heart still caged. Maybe it's time for a different chapter, cause we never on the same page. Chipping away at the wall you've built around your heart. And don't keep giving me that sorry excuse if I know what I opted into from the start. I love you for you, they love you for what they think that you could do. You can lose everything today and I'll still stick by your side. A woman like me will only show up one time in your life. If loving you is wrong, then lock me up for my crimes. You should have come with a shovel the way you bury shit so deep up inside. My love is priceless, and all I ever asked you was your time for you to provide. You're so damn indecisive, but now it's time for you to decide. We may get mad and stop talking, but I still take the time to pray for you. You may have broke some laws in the past, but I'm sure that God still favors you.
Let's go.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. That one is from a Moose, one of my childhood best friends, Waymo Benz. Shout out to him.
Way more bands. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's one of my childhood friends, and so that poem was dedicated to him. But overall, I always cherish him, and I always appreciate our friendship. We did grow up in our freshman together.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's one of my good friends.
And I gave you one of these, but I supposed to did this though. let's get this right, man, because we pouring over here, man. We pouring over here, man. Shout out to you. Welcome to Heads of Young Bulls podcast, season 1, episode 29 with Ted the Poet. Let's go.
Let's go.
But yeah, man, do you ever get writer's block?
I do. I go through these phases where I'm like, it's not really writer's block because I don't write. Actually, I have been getting into writing because people like, okay, so I have different type of poetry. I have slam poetry where I go take it to poetry slams, and then I have poetry.
Can you relate? Like, elaborate on that, the difference? What's a slam poetry?
So a slam poem is a poem I make specifically for a poetry slam.
Okay.
And then it's a little more vulnerable, and it's a little more in depth, a little more it's just a little more just me just outspoken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Raw.
so it's a little raw.
Okay.
And then I have Instagram in thread poetry, which I go viral for. So that's little clips I create that's cute, but it's not as much emotion, as much rawness, as much realness. So there's poems that I'll share in a slam mic or poetry slam or just on stage performing, that is not something I would. So a lot of the stuff that I write in my book that's coming out, I do have a book coming out, and so it's called The Broken Fairy Wing.
Okay.
And so
Where
that
you get
book,
that name from?
I would
Broken Fairy Wing.
So I would say that I'm a fairy. You know, she
Okay.
was a fairy.
Yes, let's go.
But let's say I'm a fairy that had one of my wings ripped off. But in spite of losing one of my wings, I'm still prevailing in life.
Yes. Okay. You still flying.
I'm still
You hear me?
flying.
We still flying.
still
You hear me? That's what
fly.
they say. Born fly, man.
We're born flying.
You hear
So
me?
yeah. And so that book is going to have a lot of shorter poems and not poems that I'm going to perform. Some poems I'm like, this is short, not sure performing, but with slams, you at least got to be like 3 minutes, over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So it's a timing thing too. Yeah.
So with your poetry, what do you expect the people take from your poetry when you do it?
I think some of the main things is that I feel like sometimes I'm very spontaneous, but the overall is one, loving melanin people and loving men and giving them their flowers while they're alive and not just on their grave, you know?
Okay.
Not just flowers as a poem, but I've done many poems for men. And you know, I do talk about dating men that's been incarcerated because that I have had exes who have been incarcerated, so I
For
try
sure.
to tell their story too. You know?
Yes, yes, yes.
I have a
The
poem
innocent ones.
The innocent ones. You know? The innocent ones are the people that have served their time
For
and
sure.
done their time and changed their life and transformed their life.
For sure, for sure.
Definitely not people that's out there just harming folks and bragging and boasting about it. Definitely don't. Um, I don't promote that because I have had a father lost to gun violence, Tito Neff, and then my brother Omandre Wilson lost to gun violence. So,
Man, moment of silence for your people for sure.
Thank you. And so we know how it is growing up in Richmond. Just
for sure,
violence,
for sure.
getting on the bus, there's violence, walking down the street, there's violence.
But it's just everywhere, you know what I mean? It's not just right there.
It's not just in there, but I will
everywhere, you know what I mean? But I did learn about, moving out here to the valley. You can live anywhere. It's really how you present yourself.
Exactly.
You understand? I know it's ghetto everywhere, but you know what I mean? Like you can really live in other hoods and it's just how you present yourself. Right. You know what I mean? If you're not there thinking that's your hood, you know what I mean? You there just working and you know what I mean? I think people will understand that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. And to also acknowledge the innocent people's lives that's taken away, that because they're just in the wrong place in the wrong fire or they're crossfires. So that's happened to my grandma, who I lost in Richmond, California. You know, somebody took her life. She wasn't in a gang, none of that, but she was just at the wrong place and wrong time, and somebody decided to be God. You know?
Well, I love Richmond, but I don't love it to death. That makes sense. I love Richmond. I don't love it to death.
But I'm recently started working back in Richmond because they start to be gentrified. I went to North Richmond and they're walking their huskies.
That's prime that's prime property. What people don't know.
They're buying that
Richmond
out.
is very prime property for sure, for sure.
So it's different culture now.
Yes, yes. With your poems, what's the angle? What do you hope to achieve with your poems?
With my end goal for poetry is like it's always been, my main focus is Black women, yes. But you know, a lot of people may get frustrated with me that even though the poem specifically isn't geared and catered towards my brother who passed away, it is geared and catered towards men, especially Black men, to gain their flowers while they're alive and not just on their grave, and to be able to accept those accolades, get pampered, and to get loved on as they should and as they deserve.
For sure, for sure. Shout out again, man. Welcome to Old Heads and Young Boys Podcast, Season 1, Episode 29 with Tera the Poet. But thank you again for coming, man. I definitely appreciate it. We're going to keep on and keep it going, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's this right here?
This one is called Sonia Massey.
Sonia Massey.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Black woman killed her home.
The cops are once in hot water, and Sonia Massey is the proof. A Black woman gunned down in her home, and the whole world is aloof. Sonia Massey said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because Black women only speak the truth. Pots and pans in our hands, but they carry guns. pots and pans in our hands, but they carry guns. Cops out here having a field day, killing black women for fun. And don't tell me not to start because I'm already done. We put our black bodies on the line, but when we need support action, there's none. Rest in peace, Sonia Massey.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Oh, that was nice right there.
Sonia Massey was gunned down in her home by a police
For
officer
sure.
for picking up a pot of hot water by mistake. And so they shot her immediately in her own home for calling the police because she was in danger.
And saying, I rebuke you.
She said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. As soon as she said that, the demons came out.
Hey, that was crazy. That video was crazy. It did feel like he kind of, twitched a little, like, you know what I mean? But that was short and it was so powerful. So shout out to you, Tera. And that's what I like about this platform. It's not all about, this is all purpose platform. It's not all about rap, R&B.
Right.
Like I say, poetry is the key. It's the common denominator to all of it, to R&B, to rap. You know what I mean? Without poetry, I don't think none of it would even be here.
Exactly.
You understand?
But I can spit something.
Whenever. This is your time, man. It's your 5 minutes to time, whatever you want to do.
I was gonna say I do have a song coming out. It's called I Am a Queen. And so this song specifically, I'm still writing it, but I will be in a studio recording, officially release it. But I'm just giving young black girls and black women the praise and to let them know that it's a life outside of just living for a man.
For sure.
It's okay to have a man and it's okay to support men, have a king by your side. But I don't feel as though that we should always just strive as women to be like, oh, my whole life end goal is being married. If you end up with a family, you end up married, that's great. But if you don't, your life is not over and your
no, it's not. But I'll rebuttal. I'm a rebuttal that if you don't mind, because this is we having a conversation, and and we having an open dialect, and this is a safe space.
It's a safe space.
But that shouldn't go to leave to the ultimate thing when we on this earth, to have a family, to leave a legacy, to keep it going. You know what I mean? But to each their own.
To each their own.
But I think a family is very, very important.
It's very important, and I'm actually very old school. And so I'm like, I think of myself as a moderate woman. Like I want to cook for my man. I want him to come home. I want to take care of him. I want to rub his feet. I want to make his, make his bath water. But I do acknowledge
it shouldn't be no butt now. It shouldn't be no butt now.
I acknowledge that there are some women out there that don't strive for that. That is not their end goal, and we're changing. Life is changing, and I just feel like this generation of women are becoming okay and content with not coming home to a man and to living life as independent. And I have ran into a lot of women that way, and I want to acknowledge them. And sometimes dating life it can be cumbersome. We all know it takes a lot of work to build something with a person. We have to both have open minds.
Transparency.
You got to communicate effectively to hear and comprehend, and not just to rebuttal. To hold space for each other, to love each other, and some people
understand it.
To understand each other.
Yes, empathy won't hurt.
Exactly. And I actually seen a saying the other day that the grass is not greener on the other side. You have to focus on watering your grass.
Well, it is greener on the other side. You know why it's greener on the other side? Because it's turf and it's artificial. So you go ahead, go over there if you think the grass.
I'm not holding you to a program, but at the same time, I just wanted to acknowledge that with social media, it's so much easier of the illusion of having so many different options. And then you forget that when you're going in a relationship, you're like, dang, that was actually a good person. I thought that I seen this or I seen that on both sides, not just men or not just women, but on both sides.
For sure.
It's so easy to get distracted by what you may see on the internet and the love that you may see. You may go under my post and be like, well, she got so many, but that doesn't mean that that's quality. That doesn't mean that those people are actually in my life and I'm giving them the time. But to be honest, most recently, for this whole year, I actually haven't had a relationship, and I've been focused on healing because
Ain't nothing wrong with
It's
that.
so easy to just jump in a relationship
It
and be
is.
unhealed and project. And that I want to uphold a king. I want to love them. I want to love on them without my insecurities.
Doing
Without
the best thing
exactly
is working on
and
yourself.
working on yourself. You know,
Yes.
so I acknowledge I
Yes.
still have work to do. I am in therapy.
Shadow work.
Yeah,
That's
shadow work.
shadow work, man.
And
You
not
got to do the
projecting on a
shadow
man.
work, man.
Let a new man come into your life and not project that past onto them.
Yes.
And then I acknowledge my past history has been amicable breakups where things didn't align, but we still support each other
That's cool.
on a loving way, on a path in a journey where we still love each other. We see each other. Hey, how you doing? But we decided that things didn't work out, and that's okay. And that's why it's important to really get to know people and to date people for a really long time. You know?
Yes.
So just jumping into situationships these days
That's
and
what they
just
call them.
hunching.
That's what they call them.
That's what they call them.
I
You know,
don't know.
so that's
I'm
not
old
for me.
head, so I don't
They
know
call
what they
it
call them right now.
situationships. So
Oh,
I don't want it. Keep it away from me.
I'm a bit, but I be there selling it
I-
when the girl be like, they selling it. Like, what? You selling it?
Definitely
I've been
practice
celibate.
abstinence.
I celibate for first time in my life is crazy. For 18 months.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes, ever since my divorce, you know what I mean. You know,
That's good.
can't nobody steal that post right there. Can't no male steal that post.
I acknowledge that because I know a lot of men not hey knocking on the men, but we also know that sometimes sexual desires get in the way of
distractions. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
and soul ties too.
it's soul ties.
But it's really soul ties.
It's
for
really
real, for
soul
real.
ties. And so, a lot of things I've been like, I tried to date like a few months ago, and then he was a really nice person. We went on a few dates, and then we decided it didn't work out. But he was still stuck on his ex, and a lot of the soul ties from your ex. That's really serious. You got to really work on yourself and get out of that.
You have to, but it, like I say, you know what I mean? Shadow work is the key.
Yeah.
Shadow work will brighten up your light.
It will.
If that makes sense, you know what I mean? For people to shine bright, you have to do the shadow work because that's your dark side. Everybody have a dark side to them. You know what I mean? My dark side called Earl. And I went to therapy to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Now I'm James. I'm James the Great. And it's good to, revamp yourself, come new. You know what I mean? Everybody say they don't want to change, but change
is good.
Hey, that's the only way you can change the world. Because my world has changed. I don't even see the same world. You know what I mean? I don't see the world that, hey, let's go. I definitely don't see the same world Earl saw. I see the world that James created.
Exactly.
Do that make sense?
It makes sense because we go through as adults and as humans neuroplasticity. And
can you explain that?
Neuroplasticity is when our brain is rewiring itself every minute, every second. And so we all have the capacity to rewire our brain.
Yes,
we just have to do the work.
Yes.
And you know what else is
and it's
consistent.
Yes, and it's scary.
And it's scary.
It's definitely
very
scary, bro.
It's some things where I have to work on myself. I feel like before at 24 years old, I was engaged to be married. Unfortunately, I lost some to gun violence, and so I haven't really dated since then anything really serious.
Okay.
And so I had to work on myself, and I had to sit back and write down the things like I would have probably stayed with him. We probably would have been married, and we wouldn't have separated. But at the same time, there were things I was doing, like I was nagging him all the time. No man wants to deal with that, and so
at least you see it. Though.
Exactly, but
shout out to accountability.
To fall out of that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna step back. I'm not gonna nag as much, and I became a ghoster. I became a serial ghoster. If I see somebody, I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I stonewalled them. Yes. So I just started ghosting and cutting people off. Actually, recently connected with some men I ghosted in the past, and they told me about it, and so I went back to therapy to work on that. So I'm no longer a serial ghoster, but I do know my
serial ghoster. This time I heard that one. God, we shut up. You said serial ghoster, girl. I ain't hear that one
like,
yet.
I'm not nagging nobody. Oh, you do something like I'm gone. I don't even talk about it, but now crazy. I sit down and I communicate and I listen, and I give you a few warnings.
Yes,
and then I'm gone.
So with me, I like to, I'm not dating or whatnot, but it's a little game that one of my therapists told me. It's called like a red flag game. So meaning, when you getting to know each other, you know what I mean, you need to put all your red flags on the table. You feel what I'm if if I see all your red flags and you see all my red flags, there's a few red flags you accept. You pick up that red flag. If you pick up that red flag, you can't never bring that red flag up no more. You understand?
That's true.
So then you
throwing stuff in your face.
Yes.
And a lot of women do that.
Yes.
I want to acknowledge I used to be a woman that did that, but I really moved away from that.
Yes.
I don't throw nothing into a man's face. If
and
I
that's
accept
why
you,
men don't share.
Exactly. And that's why I'm trying to create more of a safe space through my poetry for men to have a space while they're alive to feel comforting. You know, as we get into flowers, you're gonna hear like that's my baby. I coddled that poem.
It's like
I freestyled that poem.
Females want dudes to be vulnerable,
but then get mad and throw it in your face,
and not even be get mad and throw it in your face. It's like it's secret or it's ammo type shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And you have to learn that if we accept the man for what they come with, the baggage they come with, we can't keep bringing it and open up those.
And that's vice versa for the male to the female.
Exactly, too. Both sides. You know, I've had that happen, but I don't do that anymore. I really, I say in my poem, I want my man to have a safe space, a place where he never has to save face. You see, I want my man to be able to come home, strip off all his armor and cry. I want to be such a safe space to him that he could confide to me about anything and I never have to cry. And I really mean that, you know. And I feel like every man, thank you. I feel like every man should get that space, you know. If you want to, we could turn on the instrumental for that, and I can just freestyle.
Let's go. You got me feeling that. Let me find that right now. What that say? I got to find that.
But yeah, I'm definitely working on being. You know, I was very toxic. In my 20s, I was toxic. I would throw stuff in my man's face. I would nag my man. I would blow him up 100 times in a row. And if somebody cheating or doing something on you, and that phone, they don't want to answer that phone. They're not gonna answer that phone. No matter what you're doing, they're gonna keep doing what they gonna do. Not saying that I dealt with infidelity, but I came a long way.
We all have.
Well, I came a long way. You know?
We all have.
Definitely have.
And you know what? I only been in 2 relationships in my whole life. I'm 45. Only been in 2 relationships. Only, you know, married once. I'm going through a divorce right now. But I never had relationships. My relationships was understandings. Meaning, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy when you cheating, when you is cheating with that female, y'all the most 2 honest motherfuckers in the world, bro. I don't understand that.
You know, like, I've seen a lot of like clips and like reels where they make reels of how they treat their side chick versus how they treat their girlfriend, and the side chick always get the best treatment. I'm like,
they do, but I'm gonna tell you like this though, and that's why I never cheated with a female that was cheating. Do that make sense?
It don't. Can you explain more?
So I have cheated. You know what I mean, before.
Right.
But I didn't cheat with females that had dudes. On a simple point.
Because you kind of protecting the dude.
Nah, fuck all that. Fuck his feelings. It's about, okay, if you cheating on him, you gonna cheat on me.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. So, and that's why.
That's true. That's true.
So it been times like, you know what I mean? You know, it been times like females like, you gotta do, nah, I don't even wanna, you know, and females was trying to cheat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But sometimes if the feelings is there, why would I cheat with you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I do like you, you gonna cheat with me.
Exactly.
Cheat on me.
With me, I've never dealt with infidelity in men. I'm very honest. I'm very loyal. I'm like a dog.
So you ain't never cheated?
I've never cheated. 100% never cheated. I've never cheated. I've nagged the man to death. I've blown the man phone up. So can I tell you? So with me is when I'm in a relationship, I get too invested.
But that's worse than cheating.
It is.
You might as well cheat.
I get so invested and I become clingy.
Now, excuse my language. A man probably would accept you cheating more than the nagging.
And I wouldn't just say nagging. Well, that was me.
But that's your words.
I don't nag. I did nag in the past. I don't nag anymore.
Words. Yes.
I'm very peaceful now.
Yes.
Peaceful to date.
Ain't
to the point I told you I became reclusive.
Yes. Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna step back, and when they do something I don't like it, so I became a serial ghoster. And so from becoming a serial ghoster
Today years old.
I no longer serial ghost. I retired from that. So I retired from serial ghosting, and now I just talk to my man. I am probably seeing somebody. I don't know. We're taking it slow. I'm I'm testing the water. I'm still practicing abstinence,
Ain't nothing
so
wrong with
that's
that.
really important to me. Just getting to know people right now. I'm trying something different with one of my friends that I'm talking to. Is he's openly polyamorous. So I'm
Can
trying
you
to
explain
see.
to the people that don't know what that word
Okay,
is?
so polyamorous is a man that has the ability to date other women, but I'm monogamous.
That ain't gonna work.
I'm just enjoying the moment.
I ain't wrong with that.
And I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm not saying that we gonna work out. I'm not saying we're not gonna work out. I'm
Okay.
just enjoying.
Keep
the
an open
moment.
mind. Keep an open
I'm
mind.
open-minded in this moment.
Yeah, keep an open
And
mind.
we're enjoying each other's company. Okay, so we're enjoying each other's company. And I'm 31. I don't have no kids.
Yes.
And he has kids. Usually my red flag. Not for the baby, but for the baby mamas and the bond they still have with the
So a
wives.
dude with kids is a red flag?
Not a red flag, but it's not something I usually do.
Okay. Hey, everybody got they.
I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids. I don't know if y'all seen that JT reel where she was like, I don't have to go as hard. I don't have any kids.
Yeah, that's true. It's only you.
It's
you know
only
what I mean?
me.
It's only you. And as me being a single father, as my 24-year-old ever since she was 8 years old and her mom passed 2 years ago.
My
Yeah. But me being a single father, and I see me with females, males do not expect females to come in and be a mother. You know what I mean? Females expect dudes to come in and take on that, father role. So by you not dating mans with kids, I don't see why. Because if you do date a dude with a kid, a single father that's on his shit, that 1% dude like me, that's on his shit, always had a job, know how to braid little kids' hair, brush and take down, you know what I mean? Do little things that little girls do. He would never want you to babysit his daughter, take care of his daughter, probably not even do her hair or nothing.
Intriguing. Thank you for telling me. I didn't think about that.
By you dating a dude with kids and he's a single father, hey, it's gonna be easy.
What's crazy to me is that I actually, with my friends, and this is platonic friendships, like with my girlfriends and stuff like that, I get attached to their kids because I'm an educator.
Okay.
So I teach kids, and so I would think I tread lightly with dating men with kids, because if you're inviting a woman into your life and we get to that level, then you would be expected as a woman to step up.
Well, education is different. Educating a kid is different than
I've also had
of
nieces
kids
and nephews where I take care of, help my mom raise them.
But that's totally different. That's gonna be different from.
But we be having y'all kids for 14 hours.
We
got y'all kids more than y'all got y'all kids. So don't sleep on the educators when it comes to raising the children.
we need educators. I always said it's crazy we talking about education, because I always said if the teachers got paid like the athletes,
right,
the kids would be more into education.
Right.
Do that make sense? Because the parents, the teachers don't get paid at all.
We don't.
Like, you know what I mean?
I actually, out of UC Berkeley, I got offered to build bombs for almost $250,000 a year. And I couldn't sleep at night, knowing that I'm killing kids.
Yes,
it's
for
a
sure.
Conscious thing.
Plus, what's going on right now.
Exactly what's going on in Palestine, Palestine. What's going on in Palestine, what's going on all over the world right now. I couldn't do anything where I would be bankrupt with my morals.
Yes,
morally bankrupt.
Listen, energy is my currency.
Do
that make sense? Energy is my currency.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And don't nobody have to go to sleep. Nobody have to live with you but you.
Exactly.
You understand? So let's get in this intervention, because you say you want to freestyle, man.
Okay,
let's is you still high?
Wait, let me freestyle without the poetry. Okay, I got
without the intervention.
Without the
go ahead, do your thing. Let's go.
All right. I am a queen. I will not fall to. I am a queen. I will not fall to. Yes, I am a queen. I will not falter. I do not dream of walking the altar. All that I dream is getting the bag. I focus on good and not what I lack. Focus on good, which come with the bag.
Okay.
I chase abundance. I'm claiming that. You say that you love me, but stab me in the back. All of that running won't catch me off track, because I am a queen and I will not falter. Yes, I am a queen and I will not falter. Yes, I do not compete with nobody else. I'm trying to get better than self. I'm trying to get richer in health. Okay. I made my cards. I know what I'm dealt. So I'm a queen and I will not falter. Yes, I am a queen and I will not falter. Yeah, I am a queen. I can't conquer. Blessings from God, so I don't need a sponsor. I am a queen. I can't conquer. I am a queen, and I can't conquer. I am a queen, and I will not falter. Hey. So that's a little track that I'm working on called I Am a Queen.
That's good vibing right there.
I'm trying to make music. I don't want to make. It's nothing wrong with it. I may throw a song in there about the pom, but I'm trying to predominantly make songs that uplift young girls and that I can be proud to sing in front of my niece. I never want to make a song that I'd be like, oh, I don't want my niece to be here, because I am an auntie. I am an auntie. I have a nephew. I have nieces and nephews. I have young cousins, and as an educator, I want to be able to share my music with them.
And that's crazy. We're talking about that because with my oldest daughter, it was just music. And it was just music. So all the cuss and all of that, it was just music. It's just music. And I love music. So, you know what I mean? And I tried to teach her, but the music is so gone fetch right now. Gone. My 10-year-old, we don't even listen, is Rod Wave all day. That's all we listen to.
And even with Rod Wave, you got to be careful because he's very, he's a downer.
So
he's a downer. I have to feel
like he's... say that? Okay. People say that. But his music is really uplifting. If I understand it is. It's pain.
There's a few of them where he's kind of treading on suicidal things.
Yeah, that's normal.
Is it normal or are we making it normal?
No.
Are we normalizing it?
That's a normal human behavior.
I agree. But
it's just all about is you acting.
Exactly.
Thoughts and acting is two different things. Just because we have thoughts of things, that don't mean you act on them things.
But not all kids are old enough to distinguish to not act on them.
And that's what
and so sometimes when you're being programmed, and don't get me wrong, I love Rod Wave, his music.
And that's when parenting come in.
It does. It does.
That's it.
It does.
Open community. Hey, you know what? With my mom and my parents, I talk to my kids like they grown.
Right.
For one simple thing, ever since they was babies. When my daughter was born, when she came out, soon as she came out the womb, I'm the daddy, I'm the father, loud as hell. I did do that with just on the simple. You need to talk to them, raw and uncut. That's what my mom did to me. On a simple point, she just always tell me, I'm gonna talk to you like you grown, because when you walk out that door, the world is not going to goo gaga you.
No, they're not.
The world going to teach you raw. Exactly. So you need to get taught at home first. Just like with church, everything start at home.
Exactly.
Manners, respect,
education.
For sure,
when y'all bring your kids to us, and a lot of them aren't reading, especially Black students, melanin students, aren't reading at a grade level.
I didn't like
almost
reading.
30%.
I didn't like reading.
Students are only at the grade level reading. I have 6th graders, 7th graders reading at 2nd, 3rd grade levels, going to high schools reading 4th, 5th grade.
Damn.
Because they want to be a young N so bad.
Yeah, a YN.
They want to be a YN. I remind them that they're a YG, a young gentleman. YM, you're a young man. You're a YK, you're a young king. So that is something that I'm actively fighting with and against.
Yes.
Is that my youth that's coming in, they're being taught not by parents like you are parenting, but by the internet, by TikTok, by the rappers, by this and that. They want to be on all the new trends. So I have to stay hip enough to keep them alive.
For sure. For sure. Well, you doing your job. Shout out to you.
Thank you. And that's why that type of music is important for me.
It is. And you stay doing what you're doing with the surfing for real. Shout out with the surfing, because that's you a gym with that one. Ain't too many, melanin girls out here, melanin people, period, out there on them waves.
I will say I'm not always a perfect surfer. There's days where I just wipe out, but what's important is you keep getting on that board.
Yeah.
And you don't give up.
Yeah.
And you know what, melanin people, y'all better go get some swim lessons. Go learn how to swim.
I almost drowned. I almost drowned. I know how to swim, but not in too much deep water.
That means you don't know how to swim. I'm gonna be honest.
I knew you was gonna say that.
That means you don't know how to swim. If you can't get in deep water and tread and survive, you do not know how to swim.
I can float though.
Okay, but do you know how to swim? Survive to live, And
I can't swim that far.
And the main thing about water is you just can't panic. Water knows when you start panicking.
That's
are
when you
all
sink,
have
right?
enough. Yes, that's
Yeah.
when you sink. We all have enough air in our lungs, in our body
To keep us afloat,
to keep
right?
us afloat.
Yes.
When we start to panic and move, that's when we
But
drown.
look, you know what? I'm sharing this because it's a safe space.
It's a safe
You know
space.
why I don't know how to swim? To be honest, man, I damn near drown because they used to say, "How you teach people to swim? Kids, just throw them
Throw
in."
them in the water.
So at Kennedy High School.
Well, you went to Kennedy.
No, dude, I was fucking 6 years old. We shouldn't even be at fucking Kennedy High School. We was me and my family, we was used to go to Kennedy at night and jump the fence and swim in the summer.
Right.
And you know, I knew they was going. I wanted to go. They didn't want to take me. They end up taking me.
Right.
And my older cousin, it was dark too. He threw me in the water. And I damn near drowned. One of my cousins got me out of there. And, you know, ever since then, that kind of traumatized me for real, for real. So I was kind of, you know, and we didn't really have access to pools like that.
No, we didn't. Historically.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
We've been kept out.
We had the plunge.
We had the plunge. And
we had Sao Pablo.
And Sao Pablo.
That's about it.
But historically, let's go back a little deeper, that black people weren't invited into the pools.
Yes.
Or acid was thrown into pools when our ancestors tried to integrate pools, you know, because they were segregated. So just making sure that
But you are breaking generation curses by you surfing.
I'm trying my best.
By you surfing.
And so I'm giving back surf lessons. I have been with there's actually, shout out to Santa Cruz Black Surf Club.
Okay, I fuck with Santa Cruz. I love Santa Cruz.
Yes, so that's where you got to go to surf. I say go to Santa Cruz. They do go to Miramar Beach in Monterey Bay. I go to Ocean Beach sometimes in Pacifica. Pacifica got a lot of rocks.
I ain't never been there.
It's in San Francisco. In Ocean Beach.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ocean Beach in San Francisco also got a lot of fishing rods.
Yes,
so those are the only things, because people trying to fish. And so those are the only things I would say go to Monterey, or I would go to Santa Cruz. And Black Surf Club, and is Black owned. They do surf lessons. They come to the bay sometimes. And Salty Roots is really great.
Back on the poetry, is you thinking about putting out a poetry mixtape or anything like that?
I did just recently drop a poetry EP.
Okay.
So it's called Flowers. It's on all streaming platforms by Tera, 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 Poet, Poet.
Let's go.
So that's out right now, and that's a dedication. The first one is Flowers, dedicated to men, giving them flowers where they're alive and not just on their grave. Yes. The second one is called Way More Love, and then the third one is Sonia Massey. So throwing some black love in there for black women. I ain't forgot about us.
You know? That's why I'm doing this too, to try to leave a legacy. Just the beginning of what just the beginning. Because I used to say, you know, I don't want to be remembered by, you know, T-shirts and bottles.
Exactly.
You feel me? You know what I mean? Like, and you know, people that don't like, a lot of my homies, if they pass, we go get bottles, T-shirts. Right. Steady going to go get a mama's flowers and cards and shit like that they're going to remember. Right. You know what I mean? So just shout out to you by you even focusing. Let that be the focus point of males and flowers. We need people like you.
And I'm not going to get off that train, because like I do get a lot of women that be like, you're a pandering, blah, blah, blah.
See, that's these new words that people just saying just to be saying. Don't matter what people say.
I don't care what people say. For real. Because I don't forget about women.
We're going to get into this with your lyrics first, and then let you get warmed back up, and then we're going to drop some instrumentals so you can freestyle. Okay. That's cool? Yeah. Let's go.
I might do something off the dome.
Okay, man. This your time, man. Welcome to Old Heads and Young Bulls Podcast, Season 1, Episode 29. Tera the Poet. Let's go.
I never let this world tell me I can't buy my man flowers. Because every time he walk out that door, they utilize every piece of kryptonite it is to try to strip him of his powers. I want to help my man build his kingdom. I want him to come home to his throne. I want him to bask in his greatness and wear power as his cologne. I want to be his safe space. His place where he never has to save face. You see, I want my man to be able to come home, strip off all his armor and cry. I want to be such a safe space to him that he could confide to me about anything and I never had to cry. I want to run his bathwater and brush back his hair.
Okay.
I want him to know that when he walk out that door and there's a war because his black skin, that his peace and his safe space is here.
Let's go.
Let me cater to you.
Okay.
I want to be his destiny. I want to have his child and extend his legacy. And even after death, I'ma stick beside him just like Nipsey and Lauren. And when I die, bury me next to him on that hill. I need you, baby.
Ooh, let's go.
Because what is a queen without a king? And in a world where you're taught to be invisible as a black man, when you come home, you will be seen. And I hope that our new love can continue to bloom. And in your heart that's riddled with pain, I hope that we can find a way to make room for our love to blossom. Because you make me giddy and fill me with bubbles. And you're so sweet like buttercups. Your love makes me feel like a Powerpuff. So yes, black man, you do deserve your flowers while you're alive and not just on your grave. Because anything you do can get misconstrued, which can leave you to being locked up in a cage. And just like James Baldwin said, to be a Negro in this country is to always be in a rage. So yes, I will buy my man his flowers while he's alive. Because every day he walk out that door, it's a fight and a struggle just for him to survive.
You know what? I really want to dissect those lyrics.
Let's go.
Let's talk about
Talk
flowers,
about it, man.
Okay?
Talk about flowers.
So
man.
everybody
Let's
that
go.
they listen to Flowers and they don't. I feel like y'all don't really know. I'm dropping gems in there. Let's go through
I heard
it.
him.
Let's go through it. I said, I never let this world tell me I can't buy my man flowers.
Right.
Because every day he walk out that door, they utilize every piece of kryptonite it is to try to strip him of his powers. You know, Superman had a kryptonite.
Yeah, for sure.
It was something that could strip his powers for him. And I feel like as this world, as men, when y'all walk out that door, that it's always something getting thrown at y'all.
For sure. From jobs.
Exactly. From jobs,
police,
from the police, from people, from
for sure.
anything, especially as black men.
Even other black men.
Exactly. Even other black men. As my brother is an example that took a black man took his life, you know? And so just there's so many kryptonites that y'all should have a safe space to come on.
I wrote a song one time. Like, I'm a 4-bar king. I ain't no rapper, but I wrote a song called When That Black Lives Matter. I said, they hollering Black Lives Matter, but when you broke and when you hungry and broke, that shit don't matter.
It don't matter.
So, and I see a lot of people holler Black Lives Matter, but when they broke and hungry, they go straight to a black person.
Let's talk about it. I actually wrote a poem. I forgot what the poem was called, but we talk about how a lot of the black men that be at Black Lives Matter protests, not a lot, but a small percentage of those black men have taken the life of their homie or somebody in their community, and now they're at a march saying
only when the police do something, or
only when Blue Lives Matter, right?
Or non-melanin,
but why
lack of melanin.
And that's the question I ask myself, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, and I may be
attacked
for this, like. So why is it not okay for them to say Blue Lives Matter and stick together in the brotherhood that if y'all do the same thing and say don't snitch?
Wait, say it again.
You know, so they say Blue Lives Matter and they stick together.
All lives matter, though.
Yeah,
all Black lives, every life matter, though.
Exactly. They say Blue Lives Matter and they stick together in the brotherhood, but you know, you want them to tell on each other, but y'all don't.
No, for sure, it's a gang. So it's a gang. Police is a gang itself.
I agree. I've heard that, especially LA police.
No, all police.
All police. Yeah.
All police is a gang. That's why they have police internal affairs.
Mm.
You know what I mean? The police that police the police.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But it's all the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I used to say one of my jobs was like a police force, right? So all police, I think police do come in with some police come in with like good intentions.
Right.
But it's hard when they come into, you know,
The
a
gangs.
broken,
Mhm.
system.
The same with black people or any person of color or
That's any
any
system.
group, any system.
Any
You know,
system.
when they
If
come
it's
into the and they
broken,
come into the hood, you better not snitch.
yeah,
You
for
know, you
sure.
better not go tell you with us, you a brotherhood now.
Yeah.
You know? So we look down upon people until it's our family members.
Yes.
Until we need a witness
Yes.
to put
Yes.
this person that's harmed us in behind jail. And
Yes.
behind bars.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's go with that old saying. It ain't fun till the rabbit got the gun.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So we can sit here and hoist
yeah,
and
but
brag, but when it's your brother,
but
your cousin, your
and that's why I
uncle.
say only thing you can do is live and let live.
Exactly.
And that's what I preach, and that's what I strive on. You know what I mean? I live and let live. You know what I mean? Long as you're not trying to take me away from my kids and self defense. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's about it. You
And
know what I mean?
I especially feel like women, especially black women, should learn how to, you know, handle a gun.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Definitely.
That's everybody should, even
Mhm.
kids should be
Exactly.
learned, proper, education on gun handling.
Mhm.
That's for sure. I'm a real big pro. So let's get back in there. And you ready? Is you hyped up? You think you can get one in? Did I put you on the spot?
With this beat, you want me to freestyle?
That's
Or you
that's
want me
that.
to...
We only sent three. We did the three. It's up to you.
Dang, I can't think of anything.
See,
Yeah, you want me on the spot?
That's the idea.
It's because the beat is so slow.
All right, you send me. That's your beat.
Those are the three that I was like, okay, I can do the freestyle.
Hello. So you got me ready to drop something.
You can drop something. You can drop something. All right. Let's find a beat where it's going a little faster. So I sent you these specifically that if I wanted to freestyle the whole poems instead of just playing them.
These the same ones.
These are the same ones. Because this is my EP. It's very short, just the EP. And so I'm gonna drop a poetry album mixtape.
Okay.
And this mixtape I'm gonna do some features, but I'll also do some music.
All right.
So yeah, let me think of some. Okay, I got something. I'm gonna spit this real quick.
Go ahead. This on you.
All right.
This your time.
This poem is called Martin Luther King.
Okay, let's go.
I spend 24 hours a week shape shifting to fit in spaces where they utilize their manager titles to cover up being racist, and I become complacent just to spin a few green faces. And when I clock in, I have to remember to behave. Articulate myself in colloquial English, shorten my name just to act and speak the same. And isn't it ironic? It just doesn't make sense to me. They knock off the Sphinx nose, then claim it's a mystery. Okay. They deprive us of our native tongues, then wipe out our history. And I don't really think Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream came true. Because that little black boy that was murdered, yeah, he had a dream too.
Let's go. Yeah, I got to get one of them.
Hey, with poetry, you got to do the
Welcome to Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast, season 1, episode 29 with Tera support herself. Yes. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it. Let the people know where they can do that your event again.
So June 28th, we're having a special Father's Day event. It's going to be at 6112 International Boulevard in East Oakland, okay?
All right.
Come through, get loved on, RSVP. We're gonna drop the flyer. It's on my page too. Just make sure you RSVP so you can get that free massage and you can get that free goodie bags. The goodie bags got like satin do-rags, we got hand lotions, we got stress balls, we got combs. We're taking care of y'all.
Yes,
we love y'all.
Let's go.
We love y'all. We want y'all to get that love in. You know what? Yes. Come through and get this love.
Well, like I say, man, thank y'all for coming, man. Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast, season 1, episode 29 with Tera herself. Hey, don't forget the sponsors: Radical Gel CMOS on the juice on the gel. We got Midnight Garden on the flowers. We got a Smoky Savage on the flowers. They got 2 gas, 2 pass on the flowers. You can catch them 3 at the 209 Valley Cure session. Invite only. Please feel free to DM Radical Jill if y'all want deliveries, all type of special orders. She do designer orders. So if y'all want y'all special blends and all that, please feel free to put in that order. But y'all already know what I'm about to say. I got the lead just like I came in. And that's with the intro. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, who's poppin'? Yes, we is poppin'. You know we poppin'. Oh, yes. Yeah, who's poppin'? Yes, we is poppin'. You know we poppin'. Oh, yes. Yeah, who's poppin'? We droppin' juice. Oh, yes. Hey, thank you for coming. Thank y'all for coming. Oh, hey, yeah, moves be poppin'. Oh, hey, yeah, moves word of fools be dropping juice. Oh, hey, yeah, moves be poppin'. Oh, hey, yeah, moves word of fools be dropping juice. Oh, hey, yeah, moves be poppin'. Oh, hey, yeah, moves poppin'. Yes, we is. Oh, hey, poppin'. You know we poppin'. Oh, hey, one more time. Yeah, moves poppin'. Yes, we is. Oh, hey, poppin'. You know we poppin'. Hey, thank y'all for coming. Oh, here's a Young Bulls podcast, season 1, episode 29 with Tera. Let the people know where they can find you at one more
They
time.
can find me at poem__ by her. That's my writer name. So poem POEM__ by her.
Let's
Peace.
go. Thank y'all for coming till next time.
Old heads and young bulls.
Love you. Let's go.